Good day, my beautiful people. We're back up in this house once again with another video. I hope everything is good and all is well with all of you. Today, we are checking something new out. Today, we're checking out ATEEZ with their latest release called Answer. We're checking out the music video for it. We have never spoken about them before on this channel, but I am aware of them. I haven't been listening to their music, but I'm very much so aware of who they are, and you know, I'm very, very curious. The only thing that I have seen from them is the little tiniest snippet of them performing Blood, Sweat and Tears from BTS, that they did a little medley, you know, within a medley, and they made this awesome, very, very EDM-y, you know, very synth based, you know, pumpy arrangement for it, which I loved, and I'm obsessed with that, you know, arrangement. So that is pretty much the extent of how much I know about them. So initially I don't know nothing. So today we're checking out their latest release, Answer. We're gonna talk music. We're gonna see what are they all about. Y'all know I'm very much so all for, you know, boy groups, you know, and these very trap inspired, synth pop inspired, right? Future bass inspired, funk inspired, lo-fi inspired tracks, you know, and I'm all about it. So let's see. Let's get it. Let's watch it. Let's get it. I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. So let's get it. Let's watch it. Okay. Oh, I love that piano. Okay, who has that voice? Ooh, beautiful. Ooh, that riser, that windy riser. Beautiful. Ooh, anti-drop. Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh, I love those pianos. Wait, I love the acoustic piano with that. Oh, sampling. Okay, vocal samples. Vocal samples, acoustic pianos. Very cool ambient windy risers, right? Wow. Ooh, get it. Ooh, okay. So it's a very, very minimalistic kind of a beat, piano-based beat. We hear some shakers. So there's a synthesizer in the background, a very high-pitched synthesizer, kind of playing arpeggios, kind of playing around with the melody a little bit. Oh, I love that. Oh, gang vocals. Y'all know I love gang vocals. Ooh, yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, very, very dancey, very, very pumpy, right? Something that you will, you know, hear on the radio, you know, wherever, you know. I wouldn't say this is made for the mainstream market, but this is definitely something that would get a lot of airplay on radio, for example. Ooh, okay. Yo, that was the dance move. Yo, get it. They look stunning. Yo, I love this. I love the aesthetic. Very vintage kind of aesthetic a little bit with that industrial thing. Okay, we love a good sub bass. Y'all know sub bass, synth bass, key things in a K-pop track. Ooh, I love that kind of droppy feel, right, to it. There's a lot of ambience happening with that piano. The piano has a lot of reverb on it, like a hall kind of a reverb. I wouldn't say like a sharp reverb, but, you know, it's beautiful. Oh, those vocals. Ooh, I've seen this dude. I've noticed this dude the most, the one that was singing those high notes. I love how they kind of switch from this minimalistic kind of a part to this very kind of a, hey, you know, dancey kind of part. I love that. But the video is super, super beautiful. I love the aesthetic of the video. Wow. Get it. We hear some stomping in the percussion section. Some claps and some stomps with some kick drum. Get it. Get it. Woo! Yes, very nice. I like this. This is cool. This would be fun to arrange because it's so structured that it's kind of easy to arrange a little bit, I think. You know, kind of. But I assume, you know, this is their style, you know, kind of making these, I wouldn't say mainstream tracks, but, you know, something that people will just in general listen to, so, which is awesome. Beautiful. Oh, I love that vocalist a lot. That final vocalist. I love that one. I love that one. Oh, okay. 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 What's happening? What's happening? Is that a intro, outro for interlude for another song? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Yes. Action to answer. Treasure epilogue. Huh. Huh. But yeah, that dude that who sang there at the end. Love those vocals. Probably one of my all-time, like from like overall, I'd say top choice vocals for me so far. So far. But y'all know I love a good rap section. I love a good vocal section. And we got that. But yeah, I love and you know, I love this. This is great. Yo, it was aesthetically super, super pleasing, first of all. Musically, it was also super, super pleasing and interesting for me because it was so structured. It was so well structured out, right? Because we get this piano with this major hall reverb, which is kind of a little bit sharp to the ear when you kind of listen to it, you know, without anything else happening, you know. If it would be just a piano on its own, it would sound a little sharp to the ears. But you know, that's kind of the thing that they went for. I love the mix on this track as well. I love how it was bassy enough, but it wasn't muddy, you know, if that makes any sense. The sub bass, it was super clear, it was super clean, it was beautifully mixed in. It wasn't muddy at all. We heard a lot of different types of percussion section initially, right? So we heard some shakers, we heard a little bit of that 808, a tiny bit. We heard a very, very warm tone kick drum in it, and a snare drum. We got some stomping, we got some claps there, some snaps in a little bit as well. We heard a good old vocal sample there at the beginning, and some parts also throughout the track. We heard a synthesizer, a little bit of a distorted kind of a synthesizer that was, you know, played on the high register there, kind of made these beautiful arpeggios a little bit in like mimicking the vocal melody, like the main, like the lead vocal there, which is awesome and a cool kind of a touch, you know. And I've stated this in a Mamamoo video, and I've stated this also in some other videos that, you know, it was also a Dreamcatcher video, yeah, that, you know, you can add like an octave, you know, whether that is within the instruments, whether that is within the vocals, or for example, if it's within the instruments, you know, or instruments plus the vocals, if they're kind of, you know, playing off of each other, right, and kind of mimicking that melody off of each other, or playing the exact same thing, it puts more emphasis on that part. It puts more it puts more focus and kind of makes you remember it, right? Because small details like that, you know, the more you put emphasis on certain either instruments, certain parts, certain melodies, you know, certain little details, things like that, that's something that people will remember. Like right off the bat, right? That is why this track was so well structured, you know, because we get that super minimalistic intro, then we get a little bit less minimalistic kind of a verse and everything. Then we get this very pumpy, dancey, almost radio mainstream like dancey chorus, which I think from the MMA medley that I saw. I think it was MMA's. Yeah. MMA's. So the medley that they did, you know, it was also very pumpy, also very dancey, right? And also that that arrangement that they did, you know, for the hit tracks, that it was also made, you know, in their style, in this dancey kind of radio kind of style, and I think that is their thing, right? That is their kind of signature mark initially, right? Which is beautiful, which is great, you know, and that is what I love to see, you know, from these artists and groups and musicians, you know, and everybody, you know, it's this kind of diversity and how they portray their kind of key things, how they portray their signature, you know, tones, you know, production wise, signature, maybe melody runs, you know, kind of that song structure, kind of a layout, maybe from that also kind of a point of view. And I think that, you know, this told a beautiful story, right? This told a beautiful story, lyric wise, told a beautiful story, music wise and production wise, told a beautiful story, you know, just visually as well, right? With the dancing, with the outfits, with the entire kind of aesthetic, with the coloring of the video, right? It was dope. It was great. It was great. Y'all know, I'm always a sucker for this kind of a mix between, you know, electronic mixed within the live, right? And we got that, right? Even though still, you know, those pianos, they were kind of course, processed and, you know, and edited and mixed, you know, and and everything afterwards. But, you know, still we got that live kind of a lo-fi, a little bit of that lo-fi kind of a feel at the start. I feel like we got, right? Because of those pianos, because of that reverb there, and that kind of a windy kind of a riser there at the start with that slight kind of an anti-drop kind of a feel. You know, anti-drop is always fun to do, right? Because it's like you're kind of aiming for the next section of the song and then it just cuts out, right? And it's just kind of like, ah! You know, I don't know what will happen. So it's always a fun thing to do. If you've listened to my latest song that I have released, shamelessly plugging new music, I guess. So I recently released a track called Young. I also am doing some anti-drops there within that track, you know, also with some risers as well. So I love that, you know, kind of aspect, because it kind of brings this anticipation, you know, what will happen next, you know, right? So that is what I love when artists do that and when groups do that, or musicians, producers, whoever, right? So that's kind of a thing. I love the percussion section on this, right? Because we get that live kind of aspect. We get that, you know, 808 kind of aspect, which is very much so electronic. And then we get, you know, very live with those very, you know, like gang style, you know, like stomping, right? Within the bridge there, and with those claps. So, and that shaker, that live kind of shaker. So, I love how, you know, they incorporated this very much so well-made mixture between the electronic and the live. Vocals, killer vocals, love the vocals. Rap section, rap line, yes, yo, yes. And the dancing, yes. They're very good dancers. All of them are fantastic dancers. And the choreo, this was beautiful. And that at the end there, that kind of outro interlude kind of a thing there at the end with the man in there in the fencing mask, kind of a mask, whatever. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. So yeah, overall, I loved it. I will have to re-listen to it and add it to my playlist because this is dope. I'm very much so curious right now. You know, more. What more can they do? What more they do, right? And I'm like, ooh, new grounds to discover, right? And that is what I love about music. I'm always in need of new music. I'm always in need of new creative minds and everything. So this is definitely very, very refreshing to my mind, right? And to my ears. So we will be talking more about ATEEZ. Let me know in the comments down below what other tracks we should check out from them. And yeah, and I will leave you to that. Always remember to be good, be kind, rock and roll. And I'll see you all very, very soon with a new video. Cheers!